A point.
But I gotta push back.
Push.
Do you want to finish or do you want to let me go ahead?
Go ahead. I mean, clearly, you know, your name's on the show. You're going to cut me off. Go ahead.
Somebody said we own the show. We can do it. We do it.
Yeah. Yo, do you see his camera? Put your sneakers down.
You made a good point, man. I just want to...
Trying to match your sneakers to your hoodie?
I have to sit in the seat a little bit.
No, I'm not mad at you, man.
So what you said, I want to push. I want to push you to unpack this a little bit. Because you said... Let's grow. What is going on, people? Again, we are here with my guy, Coach Rod. I am Carlos B. Spencer. We are Black Dad Unfiltered with my man.
I'm your boy, Coach Rod. As always, we're here to change the narrative on Black fathers, change the perception of men in general through authentic conversation. So come join us, be a fly on the wall. Let's get this going. What we got on deck, Los?
Listen, man, and right before we jump into that, man, thank you for our listeners, those of you who are listening in, those of you who are watching. We appreciate you. Like the channel, subscribe. You've been watching and you haven't subscribed to the channel. You haven't hit the subscribe button or hit the like button, even hit a comment. Hit us up. Let us know what you're thinking about the actual episodes. Hit us with some comments. We'll actually respond to you in real time. You're hearing from myself and Coach Rod. It's not a bot. It's not somebody else. We pay to manage the channels. Although we do have a back office and a team, you're actually hearing from us.
Yes, sir.
So when you're commenting, you're getting responses directly from us. We appreciate you doing that. And if you've been watching, which you are still watching right here, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Make sure that you're liking and pushing this information out. Today, what we have on deck is the interesting question of, has your parenting style changed? Mm-hmm. And with that question, I would say, as a person who has older children and younger, and I've seen this when I grew up as well, we'll come and circle back to it, but my older children would say things like, oh, Dad, you got soft. You know what I'm saying? You got soft. And I've said that before too.
Yeah.
I've seen that with and we can break into this. We're not grandparents, but my parents, when they began to be grandparents, like, yo, you got soft. I've seen my parents talk to their parents like, oh, y'all ain't the same parents y'all were. So parenting styles have seemed to change, but we're gonna dive into it a little bit, man. Mm-hmm. Do you feel your parenting style has changed in any space? Would you say yes, it has, from when the children were young to the age they are now? Have you been just consistent, same type of parent? Define
parenting style for me.
So when I say parenting style, the way that you raise your children, I think some of the way that I'm thinking is the discipline of your children. That's one of the areas I'm thinking, although we can definitely evolve this conversation. I think of the discipline. Do I discipline my children differently now than the way they were when they were young? For me, my older children, do I discipline my younger ones different than the way that I disciplined my older children?
Okay. Mm-hmm. Expanding on that and adding to your definition, right? So when I think about the term parenting style, because then I'll be able to answer this question. Okay. Has my core values changed? Has the culture I've set changed? And has my communication changed?
Okay. Core value.
My core value. The cultural environment, right? Because culture means we set an environment that's meaningful for us. Okay. And then my communication. Which falls under the culture. My core values have never changed. What I stood for yesterday, 20 years ago, still what I stand for today. I like it. So all my actions and my behaviors support that. Mm-hmm. And you can always trace it back to that. Okay. Oh, Dad is doing this because he does X, Y, Z. My methods have changed because the audience has changed.
The audience has changed in what sense?
My kids ain't too.
They got older.
They got older.
So my grandmother would say, I'm starting out the gate, and you say grandfather, I said my grandmother. You just alluded to it. The message stays the same, but the methods must change.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
I'll put a little bit of the message has to change a little bit, but at the end of the day, the essence of this message, to your point, the truth is the truth. The truth stands all the time. So, like I said, my core values are consistent. I value education. I value truth. Okay. I value integrity. What you're willing to do behind closed doors speaks to who you are. Okay. You're more so than what you show me in front of me. Right.
So has the style changed? Because LeBron at 18, the style is a little different at age 40.
The style has to change.
The style of LeBron has changed.
So let's
But the core value of who LeBron is still the same.
So let's play this game, right? Okay. The way I talk to a 5-year-old is going to be different than the way I talk to you. Okay. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I'm not looking at my 19-year-old like he's 5. I'm talking to him consistently as I would talk to any 19-year-old. Okay. Right? So, but to your point.
But I got to push back. Push. Do you want to finish or do you want to let me go ahead?
Go ahead. I mean, clearly, you know, your name's on the show. You're going to cut me off. Go ahead.
Somebody said we own the show. We can do it. We do.
You know? Yeah. Yo, do you see his camera? Put your sneakers down.
You made a good point, man. I just want to
trying to match your sneakers to your hoodie.
I have to sit in the seat a little bit.
No, I'm not mad at you, man.
So what you said, I want to push. I want to push you to unpack this a little bit because you said, "What's going on, y'all? Black Dad Unfiltered." If you've been enjoying what you've been watching, go ahead and click that like button, click that subscribe button, so you can get notified. Even if you click the notifications button as well, and you can learn more about what we're doing. Thank you for joining us at Black Dad Unfiltered. We're gonna get right back to it. That your conversation to the 19-year-old is not the same as the 5-year-old. Let me ask you this.
Yes.
Does it change only because his age has changed, or does it change because your age has changed? Would you speak to a 19-year-old when you were 25 the same way you would speak to a 19-year-old at this age?
No. I wouldn't. Which is why I think we've been talking a lot more about when should you get married?
Yes. And
we should actually have a show on how old should you be before you have your first kid.
That's a good one.
That should be a show we have, right?
That. Yeah.
So I've grown. So that's ultimately I've grown. But what I've seen is because I have a 19-year-old and I have a 14-year-old, one's a boy, one's a girl, I see the same things I did to the 14-year-old boy, I'm doing to the 14-year-old girl. Even though I'm older now, right?
Okay.
So has my parenting style changed? Who I am as a person has evolved. What I put as a priority in terms of my values may have shifted slightly. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But the answer is yes. So one of the things I learned, right, when I was younger, because I'm Caribbean, right?
You get to show your booty.
No.
Don't nobody say nothing?
This whole thing?
Yes.
No. Don't worry about that.
You get to show.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
The Chelsea. Can't nobody say nothing here?
Stop that. So, right?
Okay, I see what you're doing.
But in all honesty,
it's a good look though too, bro.
So what I used to do,
if you see this outfit on me on a different show, maybe I'm gonna say I wore it first.
Yeah, you a fool.
I'm gonna edit my other one before this.
So when my son was born, he's my first.
Yes,
I'm Caribbean. Those people out there who are Caribbean or have parents that have like these deep old school values, you don't miss a day of school.
Okay.
You do not miss a day of school. If school is closed, let's say it's Christmas, I'm going to create school for you inside the house.
Okay.
We ain't missing school, right?
The building's closed, but schooling is still happening.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. During the schooling hours.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
You look like a Caribbean parent the way you answer this.
Oh, yeah, no, come on, man.
Your whole demeanor and energy has changed.
That's what I said. Has my parenting style changed? No, but it has.
I feel like I'm in trouble right now.
But as we got older and I started looking at what do I have to prepare you for society so that you're balanced, I said, wait a minute. Me sending you to school every day ain't going to cut this. Meaning that...
So this changed.
This did change.
Okay. But education is still important.
Education is still at the heart of this.
Yes.
But I will tell the school, you're missing today because we're going on a trip. And I've done this. I've said, son, we're going to Jamaica. Like a bunch of us cousins, I'm calling school, you missed school Friday, you're not going to school.
Yeah.
We're going to go to Jamaica for the weekend. And that was important to me. Because I said to myself, I'm training my son to be an employee by constantly sending him to his school.
You can't just say that.
So
because that's a whole topic.
But that's why I said I've evolved as my priorities are still the same, but the methods and tactics in which I have to execute now, I have to adapt to this new culture and society. So to that point, if society never changed, your parents' parents' style would never have changed.
So you're saying that if you keep sending your child to school the way that you were, you're setting your child up to be an employee.
I feel that now.
As opposed school is designed to create children, to create a product. The child is a product.
No, you're going somewhere else with this.
Okay.
What I'm saying is designed that you never take a day off for yourself. You don't ever take a mental day.
Okay.
You never take a vacation. I'm a Caribbean man.
Yeah.
Anybody who's watching, Caribbean women, Caribbean men, you know how we take vacations? Okay, there's a holiday Friday, we're going to take Monday off. That's it. We don't take weeks off. When I went to work and started working in banking, I saw my counterparts taking Monday through Friday. What are you doing? What are you doing?
You should see your face. You're like, we don't do this.
But I started observing, and I said, okay, you know what? I'm not preparing you.
And they were taking time that they had, the paid time off.
And I'm saying, like, yo, you got to save this.
Save it for what?
What is that? We are a culture of what ifs. We are a culture of what ifs, right?
Yes.
So you see what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
But ultimately, My style had to evolve because my focus is still preparing you, my son, you, my daughter, for success. And once I started recognizing the world that I grew up in no longer exists, this is a new world, I must adapt as a leader to this new world. So to answer your question, has it changed? Has my methods changed? Absolutely. Yes. I am no longer you'll get up, stop crying. I'm no longer that dad.
The parenting style did definitely change.
I am hey, what are you feeling? Articulate what you're feeling to me.
You didn't used to be that.
I was never like that. Articulate it. But guess what? You have to figure out how to articulate this. So the same passion, dedication is still there.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So
but
this
style has changed.
Like my dad. What you looking at? You looking at my Fitbit? This is one of the expensive ones.
I'm just having a hard time hearing you because if I get the brown guy part, put the black on it, what size shoe you wear?
Man, listen, man.
Because if I put that shoe on, that shoe will look
If I tell you what size shoe I am, I may lose my relationship, bro. So we're just gonna keep shoe size out of this.
I'm just saying that
I do have 3 children.
That would go really good with this hoodie. Is that just me?
It would.
Those who watching in.
You stupid, man.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But you see what I'm saying, though, right?
Yeah.
You can edit all that other dirty stuff out, though.
No, we leave it in there.
But you get what I'm saying, though, right? But no. So your style has to change. Okay. But when the reason why I'm pushing back is that as fathers, when we look at this, I don't want you to think you have to change. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's good.
Because you got to understand, my father still parents me the same way he parented me when I was raised. He just parents my son differently. It's a different audience for him.
Ooh, that's big. That's
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My father still talks to me like how he always talked to me. Now we may have a little bit more, okay, my son is a man. I've earned his respect as a man.
Yeah.
So but when push comes to shove.
So he still parents you the same way in your 40s as when you were 2, but your son.
Let me tell you, my dad does not say please. He does not say thank you.
To you?
No.
What about your son?
No, he don't say that. But he's a Caribbean man. That's a disclaimer. That's a disclaimer.
So he ain't changed that much. Because they say grandparents are trying to get into heaven.
But it's a different audience.
That's why they act different with their grandchildren.
You know what I'm saying? It's a different audience. But to that point, and again, I really want to push because I struggle with this. And as you know, this show is about authentic conversation. So we bring ourselves into this.
Yes.
And we put ourselves at the mercy at whoever's listening.
Yes.
So we see the negative comments, we see the positive comments.
Right.
But it's conversation. Someone has to have it.
Okay.
But where I was going with this, man, listen, I lost my train.
I'll jump in if I need to.
Go ahead.
I was about to go, listen, because I know I distract you with the boot, but they're going to go with the top. Look, I'm going to play Coach Rod today.
Go ahead.
And Coach Rod, because I sit on that side sometimes, in the studio. Coach Rod would say to me, used to.
Go ahead.
See what he just. Coach Rod would say to me, man, you getting all philosophical, you dropping deep words.
Yeah.
I'm going to just tell you straight up.
Yeah.
My parenting style has changed because I'm soft now.
I'm not soft.
I'm soft now.
I'm not soft.
So I got my 3 older ones. I'm talking about me.
Yeah.
Ain't talking about you.
You've been soft.
You ain't got.
But go ahead.
You see what he's doing?
Come on, man. You were the one that Goo Gaga when they were little.
No,
I was like, man, use your words.
No.
When my son came out, I said, stop crying, use your words.
No, you did. When my older children were, I was the because I said so. My older ones, when they were children, they're 21, 20, and 19. When they were young, 4 and 5, do this. Why? Because I said so. Do this. Why? Because I'm your father and I told you to do it.
Yeah.
Then I had that second batch come up. And my younger son, he's the oldest of the younger too. I said, do this. I remember one day, he said, why? I said, because I said so. He said, but why? I said, if you reference one of our old shows, I didn't notice by then, but I'm thinking of it now. But you hit me with the 5 whys? What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Hey, because he was an intelligent child. I said, because I said so. He said, Dad, but why? Now watch this. I found myself reasoning and having a conversation with a 5-year-old. I would have never done that with my own children.
Sure.
But now I'm older. And I also believe that you made this point. You made this point very good, very powerfully. I also believe that you parent your children differently. You don't parent every child the same way.
Agreed.
I think you have to discover and understand your children. So this child, not only did I learn and I was explaining something to a 5-year-old, once I explained it to him, he understood and never asked me why again. So,
piggybacking off that, right? 2 things. And remind me to come back to this first thing, and then I'm going to go to that, which is what I forgot.
Okay.
I find myself coming full circle to the father I was in the beginning.
Coming full circle to the father that you were in the beginning.
Because as I listen to society, I kept on trying to change too much until I said, no, what I started with is what you need to be rooted in you.
Got it.
So now, to your point, am I more patient? Yes, I'm not a soft dad at all. By no means. My daughters would tell you, I'm a loving father. I'm an affectionate father. I'm a compassionate father. But at the end of the day, I'm a very disciplined father. I'm a very consistent father. I'm a very structured father. And I tell my 14-year-old, I don't have time for your mind to develop for you to figure this out. At some point, I'm your dad, and we're just going to do this because I said this is what we're going to do. Right?
Say what you're gonna say,
and I say that to my 14-year-old now.
No filter.
Because I went back to it. I went back to it because I realized, right? It's like saying sorry every time when there's no need for sorry. No, sometimes I just have to lay it down. This is what we're going to do because I said this is what we're going to do. Right?
Now, to that point, I will say, I know I say I became soft.
Again, we talk, but you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm extreme.
What I mean by that is, honestly, I got better at being a parent.
Yeah.
I got better at being a father. My parenting got better. And I understood that it didn't take all that. There have been times for me that I've apologized to my oldest son.
As you should.
Because dad was just figuring it out.
As you should.
And now I'm seeing, after I've had a couple more children, it didn't take all of that. I didn't have to get the result that I wanted to get from me. And mind you, my first son spoiled me, my first child, because he was so obedient, such a mild child. He didn't even deserve some of it. You know what I'm saying? Them younger two, they deserve some of the stuff that he got. They just came at the right time for them and the wrong time for me.
I think the bigger thing you're saying is they don't deserve all of that. I agree with that. 100%.
It didn't take all of that.
There has to be a balance. So that's why I said, you see, the reason why I'm pushing back on the word change is not because it's what we're saying is wrong. It's just that when I want people to listen, I don't want them to think they have to change. I think you have to evolve.
That's a good word.
Change and evolution are not the same.
Good descriptive word.
You know what I mean? They're not the same. They're not one and the same. Have I evolved? So at the end of the day, the end goal is still the end goal for you. You've just learned now there's a faster way to get to my end goal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So, yes, have I changed? Because I'm Caribbean. As a Caribbean kid, if I'm in my homeland, corporal punishment. I grew up in the corporal punishment era in the United States, where even your teachers in the United States can put their hands on you. You know what I mean? That just is what it is.
Yeah. Is that culture still that way?
In the United States, no.
No, I mean, where you from?
So my Caribbean people, we don't need to answer this, right?
So obviously,
but
I don't know.
Since I'm American,
they like,
yeah, and I'm not gonna spill it to you. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna have you going out here, yo, you don't believe what Rod said. Nah,
we ain't doing that.
But it has to evolve. You have to.
Yeah.
Again, this focus is the same for me. How do I prepare you for life without me?
Yes.
At some point,
yes,
you have to learn. You can't always ask why, right? Because in a corporate world, because I come from a corporate world, there's room for collaboration, there's room for corporate communication, and there's some room for execution. Some points, we don't got the time. I need you on this team, and I need you just to trust I'm going to do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then I can come back, and you know what I'm saying?
That's
and
leadership.
then I can come back and explain to you. So am I more likely now to sit with my kid and say, listen, this is why I made that decision. Right? Yes, that's the part of me that has evolved and has changed. I am more willing to sit down and what I call debrief with you. I am willing to pre-brief with you. Like, listen, we're getting ready to do this. Where do you all want to go?
Now, to your point, as a father and as a leader, Black Dad Unfiltered, sometimes we don't have time for you to wreck your life for us to sit here and explain to you what you need to try to understand. And this is a dramatic example, but if you out in the street and the car's coming, I don't have time to say, hey, son, the car might hit you and you might hurt. I got to snatch your butt up and tell you, get out the street.
Listen, practical, right? What you said is practical. Again, my namesake, my first son, my pride and joy, my baby boy, you know, he's in my phone as my baby boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm very affectionate with my son. But my son is my son. That's you know, like
one of the episodes before you said, I hope you watch it, is what you said.
You know what I mean? You know, people's like, man, bless your heart.
Bless your heart.
My son is my son.
I can see the whole demeanor. You said, that's my son.
That's my son.
That right there, that was a whole paragraph. He mine.
That's it. So
yes,
we're getting ready to go to college. So he got accepted to school. And there's a summer program for the school he's going to.
Okay.
Right? And they're covering it so he can go for free. And I know my son. I said, if I don't let you get exposed in the summer where the stakes are low, there's only 30 of you before campus comes in, this is going to be a problem. He didn't want to do it. He didn't want to do it. And this was the conversation because it was due that night. I came home from work. I said, son, did you see the email? I need you to go and apply for this. The deadline's tonight. He said, yeah, I saw it. I'm not doing it. I said, okay, great. I completely understand. Meet me downstairs in my office in 20 minutes so you can start the application. Straight up.
Look.
He said, Dad, I heard what you said.
Yeah.
I acknowledge what you said.
You didn't have time.
Meet me downstairs.
For him to make that mistake.
Part 2. So he does the writing part, right? I said, you can review it again. And I had a conversation. I said, you don't understand. You're fighting me from helping you.
Listen.
You're fighting me from helping you.
Okay.
You wanted to go to college. I'm sending you there earlier.
Yes.
What we doing?
Yeah.
So now there's a video part to it. And I ain't doing no video. Yeah, I completely get it. So when you're done with this video, let me know. Let me see it.
I understand. Yes, but what we're doing is, look.
And that's why I sit there and say, sometimes I had to come back to 360 and realize, and this is the message I want to send out there, not everything we did in the beginning was bad. You know what I'm saying? There's some good things that we try to practice as parents that we need to keep.
Yeah.
Because it's not for conforming to society, it's for making sure that it gets this kid to where they need to be, which means independent from you, ability to survive, thrive. Well, survive, succeed, and then thrive in the society. And to do that, there's certain core values, hey, non-negotiable. So my son went on to do this class, got his grades, got acclimated, and then now was prepared for his first semester. And in hindsight, it's, thank you, Dad. You get what I'm saying?
Did he say thank you?
I mean, I think I heard it.
That's my son. That's my son.
You get it. But whenever y'all hear me say that's my son, it's because I speak life into my son. So rather than me speaking life when I'm upset, you mine.
Of course, you're mine.
Right? But so to that point, I think it has to evolve. I do think it has to change, but I don't want us to believe that everything we did in the beginning was wrong. Because the one beautiful thing about us is that we are disciplined, and that discipline came because our parents were non-negotiable.
You say about us, you saying your culture?
You, me,
got it.
Right? We are disciplined individuals. Why? Because that one person was not trying to conform to everyone else telling them to change. That one person's like, these are my children, and this is what they're gonna.
And what I hear you saying, because I think it's great. I think what I hear you saying, I want our listeners, especially our fathers listening in, to understand that you as a father need to understand that you need to lead and guide this thing the way that you need to do it when you need to do it. So there's sometimes you may have this conversation.
Say it again slowly.
You need to, as a parent, be able to understand that there are certain things that you need to do at certain times that you need to do these things. Sometimes you got to maybe explain it to your child. There are other times we don't have time for me to explain it to you. And I don't have time for you to make this type of mistake. Sometimes you may make a mistake, and I may see you as a father, you being hard-headed. All right, you're just gonna have to go and learn your lesson. Sometimes,
rightfully so,
but some lessons, nah, you ain't learning that one.
Not on my watch.
Not on my watch. With my children, you've heard me say this before. My older 3, and I'm gonna do this to my younger 2. I, as a father, put them on my credit card when they were 14, 15, 16. So now that they are older, right? My youngest of the 3, she went into the Air Force. Dad, they pulled my credit and they saw some credit card. I said, screen. I said, FaceTime so I can see this. She said, I said, babe, that's the one that I put you on. I just never gave you a card. She said, oh, okay, Dad. And her credit score is over 700. She's like, 19, 20. To establish credit or unestablished credit is worse than no credit.
Yeah.
So speed that up. Now they're at the age of my 3 older ones, but they're making their own decisions, right? I'm dad. I'm guiding you more now. Parenting style has changed.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to just tell you what to do. Now I'm not going to let you walk off a cliff. So in my example, walk off a cliff is you go get a credit card and you jack up in 1 month what I did for you for 5 years. We're not doing that. So as a father, you're not making that mistake.
So as a father, you still see yourself as a father that has, I don't know what the word is, decision-making ability in their lives.
For sure. So they're older now, young adults, and so they can make some decisions on their own. And some decisions they make, I'm like, all right, your dad told you, and you want to go ahead and do that? That's on you. But this one in particular, because I know how important credit is, and I want to build their financial wealth, and not just wealth, I want to give them a foundation. I'm not letting you mess that up. Yeah. If you mess that up, it's going to be something that you just chose to. I tell them, you get a credit card or a car loan or any loan, talk to me first. Yeah. Before you actually do this, because you still don't understand what I did for you.
Yeah.
And I can't afford for you to make that type of mistake where 5 years you mess up in 2 months. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
I ain't never seen you seem so passionate. I hit a spot, right?
But you had a spot.
So let me tell you.
If some stuff I'm going to explain, because I said earlier I got soft, but some areas, nah, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm still your father.
So ultimately, I mean, the question is tongue in cheek, right? Because everybody knows you have to change and evolve. But I saw this thing on Instagram, right? It fascinated me. It was this kid unaccompanied by an adult in Walmart and wrecking the place.
Younger kid.
Young kid, maybe 7, 8, 9, wrecking the place.
Just like throwing stuff, opening stuff.
What? Taking bottles and breaking them on the floor.
Really wrecking
And the part that threw my mind, and you can see in the comments, that's a beautiful thing about social media, because you can see your personality in some people's comments.
Yeah.
Like, I wish my kid would type stuff.
Yeah.
But this kid is going ape. And you got, adults coming in trying to stop the kid, and you got this one woman. This might be the future president of the United States. Let her express herself.
She's saying the child might be the future president.
Yeah.
So let the child do whatever
they want to do. And she's stopping anyone from interfering with this child wrecking up Walmart. These are cases where I sit there and say, y'all done gone too far with this parenting has changed nonsense. Yo, I'm going to stop there because, again, social media never dies.
You don't want nobody trolling you.
But the eye contact we made as black folks
said everything. Said everything.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm saying.
Heck yeah.
And if you don't know what I'm saying, you ain't part of the community.
Even people listening know what you were saying, and you ain't say nothing. They felt you.
You walking out here, you throwing stuff?
Future.
Imagine somebody telling me, let that kid. Because this is a bone I have, and I'm going to get a little bit passionate. Okay. This is why, because again, I'm going 360, because I'm trying to evolve as a parent. I'm reading books, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Yes.
What my parents did wasn't perfect, but it wasn't all bad.
Yes.
And what I've done from young, some things I would take back if I could to give them more space for exploration. But I also understand the stakes are so high for my children of color.
Listen,
I could sound, I don't know, man. I'm talking from the heart.
I'm going to go a little bit further in there. I know we ain't got too much time.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is, when you say these parents a lot of parents have changed and try to evolve and try to open, we sometimes miss looking at ourselves. Because if my parents' parenting was that bad, how did I end up being who I am? My parents' parenting had to have something to do with that.
You see what I'm saying? It
had to have something to do with the person you became. The person that Coach Rod is, the way that your parents parented you had to have something to do with that.
Man, we've season 1 of the show, you heard me say, let's tell you about the story about my dad, right? But make it short. I felt like I was a cub and he was a lion. He threw me off the cliff.
Yes.
If I came back up, I was his son. If I didn't, I can always make more. You know what I'm saying?
Wait a minute. I was laughing, so some people missed that. He threw you off the cliff as a cub.
I felt like, this is how I felt. Like,
this how you
I was
felt.
a cub and he was a lion.
And he threw you off the cliff.
He threw me off the cliff. If I made it back up, I was his son. If I didn't, he had the ability to make more. You get what I'm saying?
I have to let them hear that because I was laughing while you said it.
But I say all that. If you know the full story, it's my father didn't coddle me.
Man, that's
He
deep.
did not coddle me. He wasn't do you feel good today?
No.
He just wasn't that guy.
Make it back up, I can make some more.
He wasn't that guy. But guess what? Because he put me in so many situations.
Yes.
That, listen, make a decision. I was like, and I resented it. Right? Because I was like, why doesn't this man love me?
Yes.
He loved me so much that he fought himself to be consistent in his style. Because it hurts being a dad sometimes and not being the one to be able to just let your kid do whatever they want. But I thank him to the sky is blue. And the women that are in my life thank him to the blue. You know what I mean? My ex-wife thanks him because he created a man.
And so
you get what I'm saying? And I'm not telling myself. I'm not trying to say like, oh, I'm the model man, but I will make a decision.
But he made a man. So I've often given this example. I don't know if I've given it on our platform. So if I have my younger son, and one of my sons when he was young, he had this fascination with the stove, with the oven.
I remember this one.
Yeah, he would put his hands on it while it's on, while it's hot. So I've made this example to people. Am I a good father if I say, oh, okay, go ahead and touch it? Because he's crying. He wants to. And I'm like, no, son, it's going to burn you. So am I a bad father for not letting him do what he wants to do and I know it's going to hurt him? Or am I a good father to put him in his place even though he don't like it? See, the example you gave with, oh, let them do whatever they want to do. Really? Because at some point you keep letting them do whatever they want to do. Society, police, and somebody else going to tell them you can't do this.
And this is why I like the topic, because the topic isn't really about changing. It's about finding who you are as a parent and being consistent to it.
Yes.
Right? And adapting you're adapting for success. Meaning that, okay, you 18 now. 18-year-old mind can take on more information than a 6-year-old mind. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because I've seen people talk about, well, if you let him touch that stove and he burns his hand, it may create curiosity now in him. Mm-hmm.
Curiosity in what? Like he want to...
What's heat? Mm-hmm. Why is this hot?
So let him do it. Some parents.
Some parents may...
I ain't letting my kids touch it.
Again, I say that because you see it, you hear it. And I'm saying, like, that's an extreme case.
That's an extreme case.
But at the end of the day, I just want to talk about this because, again, in trying to meet my kids where they were, that's the wrong way of saying it, in trying to predict what they needed where they were. Yeah. And again, this is where I had to start communicating. I realized as a 17-year-old, you couldn't communicate what you wanted or what you needed. Yes. You could only communicate what your flesh wanted. Right. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. My kids would tell me, I really need this.
Yes.
No.
You don't.
You don't.
You think you do.
You think you do. And am I going to go back and forth with you?
No.
So my parenting style has not changed in that. But am I more inclined to just wake up and hug you and kiss you? Mm-hmm. Because I've changed as a human being. I've tapped into that emotional state of mind. Mm-hmm. I realize ain't nothing more powerful than a hug from somebody you love. I'm going to share it with you. But it's still consistent with I will give you everything that I got. Yeah. So the fact that I got more in me now, you just have more of me.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
My grandmother said, I've been your age. You ain't never been mine. So I'm going to have to... What we doing?
Go ahead, man. Just wrap the show up, man.
Why we got to wrap?
Nah.
I'm saying as a parent, look, I know more than you might know then. You know what I'm saying? And I can say, yeah, we're done. I can say as an adult now, as a man, there are things that I see that my father and my mother was right, and I didn't understand it when I was younger. When you become a man, me and my brother said now, our father has died. He died when I was 19. We're adult men. Me and my brothers, we're in our 40s. One of my brothers, 50, about to be 50. And it's like now we see it differently. Now that, I'm going to keep this bullet because we done. Now that we are the age that he was when he was making those decisions, we see it differently. And now, as a father, I'm like,
and this is why you should get married as a man when you're older, because your perspective is different. Your empathy, which is the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes, is far higher. Which is why I tell my children, don't have children until when you're older, because then you can love them from a better place of who you are. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying?
Like you said, we got to do that episode of what's a good age to actually have children. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I think so. Man. I think so, because when growing up. Again, I was raised in the hood. Yeah. I wanted my kid to be close to my age so we could be best friends.
Wow.
Some of y'all felt the same way.
Yeah.
I don't want to be too much older than my kid. I want to wear the same clothes. Screw that. I want to take my kids on a trip to St. Lucia and rent a yacht. And I can do that when I'm older and have money.
Listen, I'm going to leave it there because you're talking good. I was going to say a quote, but I ain't going to say no quote. I'm going to leave it there.
I'm going to start quoting myself.
I was going to give a Jay-Z one, but we'll give it to another episode. Listen, this has been great.
Yes, sir.
Man, if anything, I just enjoy having these conversations with you, man. I really do. I leave as a better father. Mm-hmm. Like selfishly, I told you before, doing these episodes, doing these shows, is because I get to be a better father because of the things that I learned from what we do and from the guests that we bring on. Thank you for those who are watching, those who are listening. Continue to subscribe, to like, to share, follow us. We appreciate you guys being here for us. Send in information, inboxes if you have any particular questions, especially about some things that we're saying here. You got a question about it? Let us know so we can actually respond to it. We are Black Dad Unfiltered. I am Carlos B. Spencer.
And I'm Coach Rod. Let's grow. Let's go. Let's go get it.
All right, y'all be blessed.
You heard.